Do you ever stop to consider the strengths of your competitors, or are you solely focused on their weaknesses? This is a question that many entrepreneurs forget to ask themselves. It's easy to fall into the trap of only focusing on what your competitors are doing wrong. But this approach misses half the picture. Understanding your competitors' strengths is just as important, if not more so, than understanding their weaknesses. It can provide valuable insights into strategies that are working in your industry and could potentially be adapted for your business. Perhaps your competitor has a superior customer service strategy, or maybe they've mastered social media marketing in a way that you haven't. Recognizing these strengths doesn't mean admitting defeat. Instead, it means acknowledging the reality of the market and using this knowledge to your advantage. So let's shift the focus. Let's begin to see our competitors not just as rivals, but as sources of inspiration and learning. It's time to shift our perspective and start seeing our competitors in a new light. Consider the classic case of David and Goliath, a tale not just of one's weakness, but also of recognizing the opponent's strength. This timeless story holds a truth that resonates even in the cutthroat world of business. In the narrative, David, a shepherd boy, faces off against Goliath, a towering warrior seemingly invincible. On the surface, it appears to be a classic underdog story. But the pivotal moment in this tale is not David's courage, but his keen observation and strategic thinking. David recognizes Goliath's strength, his size and his might. But he also sees that with size comes slowness, with might comes overconfidence, and he uses this knowledge to his advantage. Similarly, in the business world, small startups often find themselves in David's shoes, competing against Goliath-like corporations. These corporations have size and might on their side in the form of resources, established customer bases, and years of experience. But like David, these startups can turn their opponent's strength into their advantage. They do this by being nimble, by quickly adapting to changes, by innovating, by taking risks that larger corporations might shy away from. They know that with size comes bureaucracy, with experience comes a resistance to change. They recognize these as the Goliaths of the business world, and they use their opponent's strengths to carve their path to success. This approach requires a deep understanding of not just your own capabilities, but also those of your competitors. It requires the ability to think strategically, to see opportunities where others see threats. It requires the courage to face the Goliaths of the world, armed with nothing but a sling and a stone. David's victory over Goliath wasn't a fluke. It came from understanding his opponent's strengths and using it to his advantage. This tale serves as a reminder that in the world of business, the underdogs can triumph, and it's often their understanding of their opponent's strength that leads them to victory. So, what can we take away from this discussion and the story of David and Goliath? This narrative has always been more than just an underdog story. It's a lesson about understanding your competition, acknowledging their strengths, and using this knowledge to your advantage. It's about seeing the full picture, not just the parts that seem advantageous to us. First and foremost, we've learned that recognizing the strengths of our competitors isn't a sign of weakness. On the contrary, it's a sign of strategic intelligence. It's about acknowledging that they have something valuable to offer, something that has allowed them to gain a foothold in the market. It's about understanding why they are successful and how they've managed to appeal to their customer base. Secondly, this perspective shift can lead to innovative strategies. When we stop focusing solely on our competitors' weaknesses, we open ourselves up to a world of new possibilities. We start to think creatively outside the box, and this can lead to breakthrough ideas that can transform our business. For instance, if a competitor has a particularly effective marketing strategy, we can study it, understand its strengths, and then use this knowledge to enhance our own marketing efforts. Or, if a competitor has a product feature that is popular with customers, we might consider incorporating a similar feature into our own product, but with our unique twist. Lastly, recognizing our competitors' strengths can ultimately lead to business growth. It allows us to stay one step ahead, to anticipate market trends, and to continuously improve our products or services. It's about turning what could be a threat into an opportunity. So, let's not shy away from our competitors. Let's embrace them, study them, learn from them. Let's use what we find to fuel our own success. Remember, recognizing your competitor's strengths isn't about admitting defeat, it's about gaining the upper hand. It's about understanding the battlefield and using this knowledge to your advantage.